position where your body doesn't make enough energy, I have to take a steroid a lot, so yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Erica, and I'm here from the Northeast Kingdom today. Healthcare has affected me in many ways. First, I'm part of my family and my household. I take them to their medical appointments, I help them with all of their daily needs, and it is a full-time job. Being a home care provider is 24/7. There's no holiday, there are no benefits at all, other than in my heart knowing that I'm providing a better life and experiences that these people would never have had. This is a job you will never get rich from. Being a home care provider and working 24/7 with no benefits. And the biggest thing is your daily pay rate is $45. Yes, you heard that right. To do an important job that is so needed in this state, so that we don't go back to having institutions anymore. They feel we are worth $45 a day. Now, this is part of my life, and I would never stop opening my home and my heart. But there's a huge shortage of homes that it's really needed. But when you only get paid $45 a day and no benefits, who can afford to do that? You're worth so much more!
I'm Jason. I'm a nurse at UVM Medical Center. Sorry. Pretty much ever since when the pandemic started, I think if you talk to healthcare workers, what you'll hear was like crickets. You know, there's just, in Vermont, no patients for months, right? We had a few really sick. But then as things tailed down, we started to have more and more patients, not COVID patients, but in general patients. And so the census of patients in the hospitals, in the emergency department, in the clinics went up to higher levels than we'd really ever seen before. And another thing that happened was that those patients were often sicker than they had ever been. And so more of the people who are coming into the emergency department or into urgent care would need to be hospitalized. And at the same time, the same thing that happened was that the demand for travel nurses who make, somewhere in between 2 to 4 times what I make or what the tech in radiology makes went through the roof. And so many people began to travel because if you're choosing between paying off your house or paying off your college loan or staying where maybe you're not super happy as an employee, it's not that hard a choice. And I would say that unfortunately that is, in response to that, was to go to the Green Mountain Care Board and say we need more beds as a hospital, right? And so they approved 15 new beds for us. And the Green Mountain Care Board came back to the UVM management and said, what's going on with this? And they said, well, we've only been able to open 3 of them. And the reason is we don't have enough staff. And so UVM continues to try to bring staff in, largely through travelers. But one of the other things that they've done is to, as one of the other speakers talked about, is to try to open this outpatient surgical center, which is a nationwide trend. The idea is that if you have spiffy, fancy facilities, that then people will be attracted to come work there. So our union has intervened in the proceedings, not to oppose it, but to raise the question of who's going to work there and how are we going to make sure that the staffing is safe. UVMMC management says they're doing the best they can to staff our hospital and our clinics, but our staff turnover rate is the fastest I've ever seen in my 14 years at the hospital. Porter Hospital, which is part of the UVM network, the president had this to say about the UVM Health Network. We can't have, this is a quote, we can't have UVM Medical Center controlling the portion of the market it controls with an 11-month wait time for patients. If you're going to assume the mantle of responsibility, you've got to do better. That's the end quote. So our message as a union and as healthcare workers to our community and to UVM management is that before we go ahead building new facilities or expanding the UVM network, we need to make sure our staffing is safe. When your mother or your child needs to see a specialist, they should not have to wait 11 months. UVM Medical Center management needs to hear us. Now is the time to do more, to do what it takes to bring in the staff we need to care for our community.
So this is a little high for me, I think, yeah. Thank you. Is this okay? Fantastic. That's okay. I can stand back. Thank you. Hi, folks. My name is Sade Bolger. I'm the Central Vermont Public Affairs Organizer for Planned Parenthood. I'm here with you today because we share a dream. As organizations, 56% of Planned Parenthood health centers are in health professional shortage areas, rural or medically underserved areas. Planned Parenthood health centers, we know, provide primary and preventative health care to many who otherwise would have nowhere to turn for family planning and sexual and reproductive health care. More than 1/3, which is over 39% of 75% with incomes at or below 150% of the federal poverty level, and at least 60% of Planned Parenthood patients access care through the Medicaid program and or the Title X family planning. For many people, we know that Planned Parenthood is their only source of care, making our health centers an irreplaceable component of this country's healthcare system. And as experts in reproductive health care, Planned Parenthood health centers often provide family planning services that we know other safety net providers simply do not offer. We stand here today on the forefront of the same wave of change for equity, something we literally cannot survive without. We're joined here today on behalf of all of us fighting for the same reason. At Planned Parenthood, we stand in solidarity with Vermont Workers Center, as well as Vermonters and many other countries and citizens across the help provide health care for many Americans. We know that, we know that Planned Parenthood has been beside them since the 1920s, fighting classism, racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, ableism, and so much more, which can often make access difficult for certain specific marginalized groups. We need to understand that our programs are reaching as many populations as possible and always trying to increase its life-saving cervical and breast cancer screenings, birth control, contraception and sex education, LGBTQ plus support, HIV treatment and care, any of that. We believe that reproductive liberty and health care is a significant part of this discussion. 1 in 5 women of reproductive age are insured through Medicaid. All people need and deserve equal access to this health care, including sexual and reproductive health care. Without Medicaid, tens of millions of people couldn't access a wide range of services that they deserve for free. That includes dental care, mental health care, and sexual and reproductive health care. And we need to understand that groups facing discrimination and systemic oppression in the healthcare system are more likely to have low incomes and more likely to use Medicaid. Again, including people of color, LGBTQ people, people with disabilities, and women. The free and low-cost health insurance coverage that Medicaid provides particularly helps women access essential health care. This is why we're here today, to defend the right to free and public health care for all, and we will stop at nothing to see this dream become a reality. I want to just say before I step off that Planned Parenthood is working with several other partner organizations to organize a rally on behalf of reproductive rights. It will be on the State House lawn from 2 to 4 p.m. on October 2nd. We hope you will join us. We are here beside you. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Jay, and a few years ago I had an essential ambulance ride. Yeah, ambulance ride. And the care at the hospital was covered by my Medicaid, but the ambulance ride was not covered by my Medicaid, which I don't think that makes sense. It's covered now, but they refused to take it. And that began my first credit history, and now I have poor credit because of an essential ambulance ride, and I pay my utilities and I get that much better and I get that much better and I'm slowly climbing, but that doesn't make any sense. How does that make sense? That I have poor credit because I had an essential ambulance ride. It's the only debt that I own, and so I just plug away at it, and I give them $20 or $10, and I tell you, and I suck dust or whatever, and that's my experience. I don't think it makes any sense. I think a lot of people share that experience. And thanks. And yeah, take a taxi, not an ambulance, unless you need it.
Thank you, Jay. And we're going to welcome up Ashley, our last speaker for the afternoon. Welcome, Ashley.
Let alone a deductible. In contrast, now my food on the table, daycare and transportation so that I can work, or deductibles once I have it. I am always living in fear that my lack of access to care will impact my children's lives or take me from them. It is a lie to say that if you work hard enough or have enough education in this country, you will be able to meet your basic needs. The state of Vermont extends Dr. Dinosaur to pregnant women. But after our children are born, we are no longer given the luxury of basic health care. How can we raise our children and see them grow if we cannot go? Healthcare is a human right, and no parent should have to have the fear that myself and so many other uninsured parents have. Join the Nonviolent Medicaid.
Thank you to all the speakers who spoke. That was so powerful. It was so powerful to hear all those speakers. A round of applause for the speakers. It's so clear that a system that produces the suffering and struggle that so many people shared is immoral, and that we must change it. As the song goes, somebody's been hurting my sibling and has gone on far too long. So this next song speaks to really holding and hearing what we just heard and what we can do to come together.
Hey y'all, my name's Hannah. This is a song by Maggie Wheeler called How Shall We Come Together, part. Goes. Thank you. How shall we come together? We shall come together singing when shall...
I'll find a babysitter, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna get out here for the babies. Period. That's all I'm saying. Stop talking about where the rallies at. Let's stop talking about it and let's get to action. Because whether you like it or not, this bullshit going on in our city. It's affecting you directly or indirectly. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you look at it. It's affecting our community. So I'm going to continue to come out here with the kids, and I already made connections with brothers on the streets. That's important. So I did my job. I got got a phone number of a brother coming through. Yeah. Yep, and that's why I did this at 12, and then we chill here, and then we're gonna leave there. I was gonna say we ain't got enough people. You gotta have at least 10 people to protest. So probably do like a 3 miles an hour. So repeat after me. No good thugs shoot slugs at children. Cool streets, our streets. So I got mine, I got. So we probably had. Because it only take us a couple minutes to get there driving slow. Right there, Shiloh. So there's a lot of people don't like Marcus. But you know what? God told me when I came out here to start this. And my thing is, I don't give a damn. The thing, God gave me a vision on how I want to pick up next year. It's gonna be even better because I'm gonna put in that work this winter. I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna be the only one outside. The only thing is, people always got bad opinions, sitting on their ass at home. Yep. Personal, maybe your political views, but your asses are still doing it, sitting there.
Same thing. No justice. No justice. All right. This is the conclusion of the 46 service.
you, Pastor, for that opening prayer. Gracias al pastor por esta bendición. I would now like to welcome Faya Zawabi from CARE LA, who is here to show Afghan refugee solidarity. Ahora me gustaría presentar a Faya Zawabi de CARE LA, que está aquí a representar solidaridad de las familias de Afganistán.
How are you all doing? My name is Fayaz Nawabi and I serve as the Policy and Advocacy Manager at CARE LA. I am also an Afghan refugee that came to this country in 1989. Our family, we escaped from Afghanistan under the totalitarian communist Russian regime that took over our country at that time. We are again disheartened to see what's happening again in our country with another totalitarian regime. But we are heartened. We love to see the beautiful diversity over here with many different organizations, many different ethnicities, socioeconomic backgrounds, standing up for all humans, to get them as refugees from Afghanistan coming to the U.S., and we would also like to see them get that pathway. The 11 million people that have been waiting for a pathway to citizenship. So again, we are thankful for this. At CARE LA, we provide many immigrant services. We help people get their LPRs, we help people get their green cards, and we help people find and get that pathway to citizenship. So please visit our website and please learn more about our organization. We are also helping again.
Buenos días a todos. Good morning to all of you. How are we doing on this beautiful, beautiful day? Today is a beautiful day to march for freedom. Hoy es un día hermoso para marchar por la libertad. It's a beautiful day to march for justice. Es un día hermoso para marchar por justicia. Un hermoso día para pelear y marchar por nuestra ciudadanía. I want to begin by saying thank you. Quiero comenzar al decirle a cada uno de ustedes gracias. Thank you for being the powerful leaders that you are. You are the people who stand for our community, for justice. You take action in favor of what is right. Y toman acción a favor de las cosas. Y thank you to our Chirla members. ¿Dónde están los de Chirla? Worker Center in the house. I see Carecen. ¿Dónde están los de Carecen? I see COFEM in the house. I see Mobile Workers Alliance in the house. And of course our brothers from SCIU. And we are here together in unity fight to the streets. In Washington, D.C., they're making decisions about whether or not immigration should be in the budget reconciliation. So we're here marching to say to them, yes, it belongs in the budget. Yes, it belongs as a priority for this country. Estamos aquí porque en este mismo momento, en este día, se está decidiendo si la ciudadanía se incluye en el presupuesto. Y nosotros estamos marchando para decirles de aquí hasta Washington, D.C., que sí pertenece en el presupuesto y pertenece como una prioridad en esta nación. Are you with me? Today
This is about equal treatment under the law. This is about a public investigation into many of the things that happened that have not been investigated publicly or third-party oversight, especially the death of Ashley Babbitt. And this is about transparency, because we have a real issue with transparency in the aftermath of January 6th. Thousands and thousands of hours of videotape denied, not just from us, but from defense attorneys who need it. Mysterious investigations into
saying that some were sanctioned for something, but we're not going to say what it is. This is unheard of in police departments across the country, or if it's not, it should be, and it should be the same here with the Capitol Police. So we condemn all violence, political violence. I'm demanding that you all are respectful and obedient police officers.
To the many police officers who are here today, we respect you. We know you have a tough job. We're not your enemy. God bless you all. Now, what this protest is not about. It's not about President Trump. It's not about President Biden. It's not about the election. It's not about what you think happened with the election. It's not about any fringe third-party group. I already politely requested that a group that I saw with a alt-veterans flag take it down. They were very respectful. They did that. I'm grateful. This is about justice. I'm going to speak to the many people in the audience who look at us and say, you're just inside young people. I understand that you hate President Trump and everything about his administration. I get it. And I'm not here to argue with you about that, okay? But that doesn't mean you have to hate what we're standing for today. It doesn't mean you have to hate our cause and what we're representing. That hatred, I think most of the organized groups didn't show up. Grave injustice being perpetrated by our government.
Try to do a little both, okay? Including the prayers for the police officers who lost their lives after January 6th. Many people who died on January 6th. And that's extremely unfortunate. We're aware of that and they're close to our hearts and deep our prayers. So we're going to open with a prayer for my good friend Ned. Ned, why don't you come up here?
Good afternoon. I'd like a moment of silence for the Americans and the police officers that perished on J6. Bow your heads and give them a couple minutes of silence and ask for God to bless them. Amen. I ask you, Lord, that you bless this crowd. That you bless these people. No matter which side of the political spectrum you're on, that you understand and know that God is in our presence, and that we understand and feel His presence in our lives, and accept His peace and His goodness and His love in our lives. I pray that all of you get home safely tonight, and that today you will learn and understand another side of the story. I pray for the police that are here, that they also return to their families tonight unharmed and safe. And I pray for these United States, our leaders, our people. Dear God, help us as a nation and a people. Help us to overcome all of the differences that strike between us. Help us to live, to love, and to serve you as your servants, and to come together as one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Help us, dear Lord, to put aside our troubles and put aside all of the things that come between us. I pray for the J6 Patriots who are still locked up in prison, that are denied their rights, who are merely political prisoners.
they're destroying George Soros property with people walking a few hours later not knowing what they're doing and not domestic terrorists. They can't be paid with the same broad brush. And what was interesting to me is he said, look, I'm a liberal Democrat. This isn't about President Trump or Biden or political party. It's about human rights for the West. And I'm wondering if we have to take a pledge to be resistant to elections at all our rallies. I just want people to get through, I'm sorry, it's the national anthem before she has a people singing voice. And she's actually, and look, this touches on many other issues. When we were at that prison, we also sit up here with many others in the prison who have nothing to do with this, who've been abused in the prison system, and I'm sure it's endemic everywhere. And this is an issue that concerns every moral human being. And it's something that concerns me, and I know many people for all of our low-income members towards you. And she's a champion of this cause, CBC. She wasn't necessarily on her side politically, but she saw the treatment of those people on January 6th. And in prison right now, particularly those who are not defending the
Well, we could go down to the Antifa protest.
This concrete thing is beautiful.
Trying to tell me what?
I just want to say thank you to that.
Got a lot of media. Why are people leaving? There's not many people here. I will go to the Antifa protest, but I'm probably going to have to log off and start again because it's on the other side of town. And I need to get a bike or something or a scooter. But this is
They are coercing people by keeping them in solitary confinement. That you can't do anything. Well, me and a small group of people like Matt have been fighting since April, since March, since January. Torment that is going on in our detention center due to the COVID protocols. They are forced vaccinating people. They are coercing people by keeping them in solitary confinement. You can do it too. Never give up your ability. This country is for all of us. It's for all of us.
We could go down to the other one. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should we go try to find counter-protesters, or should we hang here for a bit?
I was pissed when the guy tried to sneak in.
You walk around. TFI, isn't that France?
To recognize the problem, and she used the First Amendment and her constitutional rights and her democratic...
There's some sort of protest going on at Freedom Plaza, 14th Street, supposedly.
So please welcome her to the stage.
Hi everybody, thank you for coming out today. My name is Kara Casanova. I am founder of Citizens Against Political Persecution, and I would like to personally thank Matt for organizing this day today. Which, take a look around. Do you see an insurrection? Who watched the news this week? Who read the media? Who is horrified to come here? You know, shame on the people in the system that put fear in the hearts of Americans sending and messaged me, begging and pleading for me to stay home, because they fear for my life and my freedom. What kind of America has this become when people are afraid to come out and protest? This is a peaceful protest, and before I present some information to you later on, I would like to introduce one of the family members of the detainees in D.C. jail who is right now
Russia shares a wall with John and is subject to the same torture, including, well, John's in solitary confinement and he has been for no reason. That's a whole story. But last night for dinner they were served 4 pieces of white bread, a cookie, and a packet of tartar sauce. According to them, that's a nutritious meal, and they violated their own rule book on multiple occasions. So I think America needs to become very well versed in the treatment of these men. It's human rights that we're talking about, and it's completely nonpartisan. Amen. Dear Brainerd, I just got off the phone after speaking to my son. He's a January 6th detainee in the Gulag of D.C. Over the months, I have heard of the horrors these U.S. citizens and some more indignities forced upon them. He told me he's not allowed to shave or cut his hair. It's been 7 months now with no shave or cut. As a veteran, he has been moving to protect judges with hard ass and insurrectionists. How is this allowed? He's not being charged with any violent crime. He's lost his job, lost friends, family, and he's in the process of mental expel. There's absolutely no presumption of innocence. I just wanted to let your organization know the terrible conditions these brave men are being subjected to. Even death row inmates get haircuts and are allowed to shave. This reminds me of how the Jewish people were treated by the Nazis. I never thought I would live to see such treatment in the United States. I've watched some of your rallies and wish I could have come to the forum. I know you sometimes read letters by coming on us. Please do not read this letter. Please don't forgive this man. I don't want any of your allegations to be found. Thank you for all of your efforts, and please keep up with the fight. Sincerely, it's a mother.
Oh, someone's getting arrested. Detained.
Next up, I'm going to introduce Jeff Snake, who's the father of one of the political persecutors, one of the political detainees, and I can't imagine what it would feel like to be a parent and have a child in prison right now being held in solitary confinement with no bail. So that you have one step and now son and daughter being held in prison with no bail.
I think he had pepper spray. Some of the people I've noticed have pepper spray canisters. It says press coat. High school units showing up now.
So they're going to make a court now for license. One on the right, one on the right.
I'm not sure what he got.
Come back here. Come back. Come back.
I'm sorry.
Right behind you.
Detained. I'm not sure what for. Tear gas gun. Riot squad coming in. like that scene from Hot Fuzz when they were in the grocery store. I mean, doesn't it look like that scene? It's just bolognese. It's just bolognese. Oh, they're going out. I'm not sure. A lot of the press have those Army backpacks.
This government wants to keep us silent. They want us out of the way. I will not be one of those who are going to be silent. I am not going to be afraid. I will not bow down.
I'm not sure what he did. There have been a few arrests, I think. Or detentions.
Stand up and start talking to these people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeff. So we had another guest. She's unable to make it. It's very important to know. Her name is Nicole. I was detained at the airport. Brought to her hotel room. Her computer was trashed by the FBI. And she was unable to attend. So I don't know.
This guy made his own sign. Another group over here. Let's see what's going on. A lot of riot cops over here. Oh, Electric Scooter Man's on the move. So something's going on over here. I think this is the new gear they got. Oh, sorry, mate, sorry. That team is now deploying closer in. I don't like that the SWAT teams or that the riot squads are moving towards the center. It's just
coming to our own nation's capital to exercise a First Amendment right.
It might be time to sort of back up a bit, you know.
Forefathers and criminalized by the
DC police love to do what's called kettling. Basically surround the protest and then arrest everyone inside. So we might just duck back a bit.
We the people are the guardians of our own
I think I know this photographer.
the government. Not the mainstream media, but we the people. We the people that have been lied to, that we give our own we have been lied to about
They just set up over here for some reason.
Говорил то же самое, что сегодня
their clothes. That is not what our forefathers and others have given us that law for. Okay? We the people will not be discriminated, we will not retreat. We the people will not be our patriots.
Over here. So, pretty calm.
A typical prophet who unfortunately wasn't able to make it today. It was a powerful letter and it was an honor to read it because her computer was taken by the FBI and she's now in a bag. A pro-Muslim.
12:42. It's not out of focus, it's just that the bandwidth is so much demand on bandwidth here. I can't get a perfectly clear 5G signal or whatever. So kind of blows. What do you think, guys? Should we go down and see the other protest? You guys want to go to the other protest? The other protest is down the road a bit. Oh, yes.
The media said died of methamphetamine overdose. That is absolutely not true. She has prescriptions to Adderall and only other drugs.
Slightly more yeses. Maybe we can go down there. Maybe there's some. I don't know what is down there. But I can go get a bite and I'll scoot down there and I'll come back live shortly. And if it sucks, a button, and we will come back. It's going to take me about 15 minutes to get down there, yeah? 15 minutes, and then we'll come back to this one if it sucks, yeah? Back in about 15 minutes, guys. All right? Thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe. See you guys in just 15 to 20 minutes. Bye-bye.
That an investigation needs to be held. There needs to be a real investigation, not a investigation into the death. And we have reason to believe to ask for an investigation that perhaps they were not. Again, go on my website and see video on that. I have one last message. Nancy Pelosi, who made a statement to the mainstream media that people should not come to this rally today and support killers. To Nancy Pelosi, I hope you are watching, or that someone sends you this video. I want to address you directly. We're both women, we're both U.S. citizens, and we both have the same unalienable rights protected under the same Constitution. How dare you tell me or other Americans that love their country not to attend a peaceful protest to advocate against the abuses being perpetrated on U.S. citizens for the events of January 6th. I take personal offense, and so does everybody here. You have attacked a rally that I am co-hosting. You are directly responsible for stripping away the constitutional rights of millions of American citizens.
And I've been working on it for about a week. So now I'm going to show you how I use Grammarly to edit. Okay, so here's my essay, and I'm going to click through Grammarly suggestions in the right panel. Your sentence may be unclear or hard to follow. Consider rephrasing. Well, that's true. This is much better. You know, I didn't know my writing contained so many run-on sentences until I started using Grammarly. Okay, this paragraph may be too long. Consider starting a new one here. It is too long. And that is the perfect spot to break it up. Let's add a comma here.
Okay, so now we're done editing, and now it's time to check for plagiarism. And it looks like I forgot to add a citation here. It's good looking out. You know, Grammarly gives me peace of mind when I'm writing, but what I like more...
The narrative that people that support these prisoners and that support justice in America and freedom are white supremacists. It's a means to divide and distract us, and I'm asking you, mainstream media, to please stop dividing and distracting the American people. Please stop dividing and distracting us. We have more in common than we have different, but according to you, we should be enemies. My website is my name is Kara Cashnova. Please follow me on social media so that you can get all the information on all the 4 deaths that they said were natural causes, so you can find out the name of the police officer who beat Roseanne Boylan as she lay on the Capitol steps unconscious. We have the video, and there's other video under court order that cannot be released to the public that people have seen where it clearly shows that DC Metro police officer beating her senseless. And there's patriots being charged in prison right now for trying to help her and trying to get the police officers off of her. That is why they're being held right now in DC prison. The website is www.citizensapp.us or www.thepeoplesjanuary6commission.com. My name is Kara Kesho. If you want to see the video, please talk to me after the rally.
Now that's a tough act to follow. And I thank God every day we found each other that she has the courage to stand up and do what she did. She did it all on her own. She just woke up one day.
There's another person I saw with a Trump hat is saying that the media is the virus. That's what his mask said.
I know it's hot out here. I know there's a lot of stuff going to be busy. You're doing your duty in that area. That would actually. I want you to also know that that would be the way. You see any funny business that you suspicious? All of you have.
Yo, Nico. Nico.
Oh shit! I was looking for you.
I didn't know it was blue.
Oh shit! I put it on here. Because I know how my wife does when I put her bag. Like I'm like,
I won't say anything.
But I thought, what thoughts on the speech? I thought it was pretty powerful.
Yeah, it was very confusing. Very confusing. This whole thing is confusing. That's my takeaway. And the fact that, so now, remember we were talking earlier about why there was something that just stay away.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, either a setup or this is what they're here for. Like, you're actually being honest about what you're here in the prison. It's not part of the process. If you were elected and you were here, you would have so much to talk about a lot of these people.
And agree with.
There would be some disagreements, but the disagreements in my opinion would be because of certain narratives about certain events and the way they happen. But the only way that we can give them clarification on those narratives is if we're here to talk to them. And so people were terrible. And you almost have to wonder as well, because there's not only, they call I think that there was an attempt to demonize the event, to lead Donald Trump. The reason they kept saying that January 6th
They got their gear on. You see that? There's nothing. It's instigated.
Technically it's wrong, but it's still hilarious.
Yo, what the fuck is that? Yo, they have shields. Yo, this is fucking crazy. I don't think there's any reason for these guys to be here because no one's being violent here. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna be careful because there could be a Fed that's posing as a protester that might do something to instigate something to happen here. It's like no one, yeah.
I've seen it before. I feel like I know how the story ends. There's no cops here, unfortunately.
At this point, yeah, if you look at the other side, here, and if you look at how, because the cops are more dispersed. Yeah, there's so many cops over there. Yeah. We didn't have any people at the counter protest. It's just like a handful of people. Yeah. Wow.
This is kind of this is a little hard, a little overkill. Yeah, it's like you're trying to, it's like, it's not. Yeah, let's look at what they're saying. There's nothing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's people there, like they break off for unity. They're like, yeah, let's give people in jail.
No one said anything.
Like, whoa. That's the reason. You don't have more rights. Then it's watching me. You should say nothing about fight the shaving. Come on.
But we have to be on the lookout for any undercover that's going to instigate stuff. This is a peaceful protest. I don't see any point in having them here. And right here on this side. I mean, we have children and their dogs at this event, and then they're all pulling up here. It's crazy. I'll keep my hands off this, just in case. Uh-oh. They're pushing up. They're telling people are peacefully standing around. Okay. Where did Nico go? When he stands out. You guys saw that? Now I'm starting to feel unsafe. And it's not because of protesters, it's because of the SWAT team that just came here. Everything is peaceful. People are here with their kids and their dogs. And then they pull up the SWAT team. The speakers are talking about uniting with everybody, how the mainstream media divides everybody. And then they pull up the SWAT team.
Do they have a famous person there?
No. Arrested somebody?
About 20 minutes.
Okay, so are they just looking for other people who could have weapons then?
They might have outstanding warrants. You know, the picture might match the picture.
Was the person from the weapons, like, where were they?
I'm not sure, but they first put him up against, put him sit down next to the fence. And they brought in all the police officers.
Yeah, for the counter protest.
Looks like this is it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it wasn't even a protest. Maybe they just figured out, maybe, you know, they've done a lot of intelligence work. Maybe they just found out that the other guy was going to be here, and they found out he had a weapon. And
okay.
You never know. He might have an outstanding warrant to his arrest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They get a chance to grab it. So there's probably a lot of people here that have some sort of criminal record.
I wouldn't doubt it, yeah. There's some people here.
But there's more than 700.
Yeah.
More than 700, but then again, you probably have at least 700 police officers with these trucks.
Yeah, I saw they have the snow trucks.
And then on the side streets. The metro's clear, by the way. There's nothing going on.
The metro. Oh.
I took the metro here.
Yeah, they're more
clustered over here, and then outside of here, there's more spread out, more dispersed. You see them every couple of blocks.
Are you with the media?
Independent. I'm in the, yeah. No problem. Yeah, I just want to show. Oh yeah, but they're gonna give their adulterated narrative about what's happening. But I mean, there's good thing that there's independent people out there. Yeah, it's true.
Now, see the woman dressed in pink? Woman dressed in pink.
Oh, Medea Benjamin.
Oh, yeah.
From Fort Pink, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, you have all these peace groups in D.C. I go to all these demonstrations, I know who these people are. That's the only one I've seen here, Fort Pink. No public citizen, no NASW, no Veterans for Peace. All these people usually show up. They're not to be seen.
What do you think about how she's holding up signs about how some of the protesters should stay in prison?
Well, some of them, you mean on January the 6th?
Yeah.
Sure. There are some, but are they all, not all of them had their day in court. But some of them are in jail because, I'm a lawyer, by the way.
Okay.
Some of them are there because they're deemed to be a risk to other people.
Okay.
And they have to stay there. Or, and this is a terrible thing to say about our criminal justice system, they don't have enough money to bail out. So they have to go to jail. If they're fraud. Sitting there, chances are you're trespassing. So there's an unlimited number of misdemeanor convictions. But you can't stand in certain parts of the building. I don't care how peaceful you are. You cannot stand in certain parts of the building. Period. So that's not the issue. The real issue here many times is, are they guilty of actually conspiring to or attempting to overthrow the government? That's the real issue.
So, what would you say, like, your ideological positions mostly align? Would you say you're mostly, like, anti-imperialist, leftist, or what would you say?
I would say that I'm anti-imperialist. I'm also though, in favor of we need to have a national draft. By the way, I'm a veteran here.
Okay.
We need to have a national draft. Everybody, when they get out of high school, does 27 months. But if they don't want to do that, they can go and do community service. If they do that, then they get a free house and a continent, and they get a GI Bill when they get done with that. And the greatest value of it all is that nobody is exempt. So Henry Harvard has a chance, to do with each other, have joined forces to do something positive for the country.
Okay.
I have a lot of other ideas. One other one is nobody gets a driver's license until they're 20, unless it's for the sake of national security. They'll take lots of vehicles off the road, they'll clean up the ice, has to take a bus to work or a train. They can't drive.
We should have a better public transportation system for that. It has to come at the same time.
We definitely have to do that. But those are bringing people together, eliminating elitism, and eliminating uniforms. Everybody who goes to school wears a uniform. They do it in Vietnam. When I was in Vietnam, they had little kids, all kinds of kids all wear uniforms. Why can't we do that here? We don't get into have these turf wars, gang wars, people shooting each other over tennis shoes and jackets and t-shirts, whatever. There's a lot of things that need to be done to bring people together. I know what you're going to say, socialism, communism, all that. To a certain extent, that's true. The point is, that's national security. Because the more people are on the same page, the easier it is to mobilize them to fight in a war against something that they deserve.
All right, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Take care. Get back to see what's happening here. Keep an eye on this. Let's see what
picture E. Again, this image is from a hearing room. Interfere with government business. This is the same thing that the political prisoners have been charged with. If they've had the FBI break into their house, it's not the English agent's fault, really. It's their orders and political leadership back behind me. That's the Department of Justice. But those people having their doors kicked in, and we rounded up in the middle of the night, right in Washington, D.C., denied jail, have their life destroyed, losing their homes, losing their jobs, some people losing their marriages, and their stress support. Well, he's going to be doing the same thing. He's not leaving, man.
Q and Jordan from the Yellow Brick Road.
I'll say it all day long. That's those people one person. But I actually have a friend who showed up a few hours after the original application. He walked into the building, nobody stopped him, doors open, walked all to the right, there's some pictures, the investigator walked out. Now the FBI is not investigating, he's not going to prosecute because he has sort of a get out of jail free card because he's under arrest. First Amendment. Community organizing for this takeover belongs to us. I know that many here, many watching are upset about the election. I understand. I'm upset too. When they killed those people, they said it's time. What I'm asking you to know, anger is dangerous. Anger gets turned inward, self-destructive, and it spills out and becomes destructive to the world. What I'm asking you to do is take your anger and channel it into something productive. Into channel it into working as a volunteer. We look ahead America.
Alrighty.